By the time that you see this video, you will probably already be well aware of the story, but I had to speak on it. Because this picture right here is going viral. I'm talking more so the picture on the left more so than the right. Of course, the one on the right is going to go viral too because of. But in this picture is a man by the name of Isaiah Jackson. He's 20 years old, out of Ohio. And there was a picture that went viral, and I can tell it was on Snapchat just by how the caption is written. And as you can see right here, that is him right there, and he is kneeling on the neck of a toddler. And I believe the toddler is Caucasian. And if you look right there on the little bit to the left, you see somebody's arm is holding the child's hands back, and the arm does appear to be melanated. And the caption says BLM now, and it says MF under the blur. Of course, we already know what that is. This picture has since gone viral, and this guy right here has been brought up on a multitude of charges. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is read this article. And I'm going to talk about, it's going to be something I'm going to point out, not so much about this, but by another incident that I saw. But not just another incident, but other incidents that kind of line up with this. Police in Ohio say they are investigating a horrifying photo circulating on social media that shows a man kneeling on the neck of a baby in apparent reference to the death of George Floyd. The photo, which went viral on Twitter on Tuesday night, shows a tattooed man making hand signs while kneeling on the screaming child's neck. A second person is holding the child's hands behind their back. The caption reads, BLM now, MF, or Black Lives Matter now, motherfucker. The Clark County Sheriff's Office told local CBS affiliate WHIO TV it was investigating the photo, but said no arrest has been made and charges have not yet been filed. We are looking at investigation. The photo generated uproar on social media. Life in prison will be far too lenient here, conservative blogger Matt Walsh wrote on Twitter. Now, the article I just read for you was something that was written a couple of days ago, but now I'm going to give you an dated version. That was one when the one I just read said that there were no arrests made, but of course, since then there definitely was an arrest made, because now they say he is currently in custody. They said an Ohio man who was out on parole has been thrown in jail and awaits new felony charges after a photo circulated on social media showing him posing with his knee onto the neck of a crying white 2-year-old boy alongside a message referencing Black BLM. The Clark County Sheriff's Office first became aware of the photo circulating social media on Tuesday, July 21st, and appears to be a direct reference to the former Minnesota terrorist Derek Chauvin, who leaned on the neck of George Floyd before he died, sparking months of protests and unrest across the U.S., more like across the world. The photo shows the man, who has since been identified as Isaiah Jackson, with his knee on the neck of a crying toddler who is only wearing a diaper. Another person holds the child behind his back. The banner across the photo says BLM now MF. Patrol units were able to determine the location where the incident took place and made contact with both the mother and the child, as well as the male subject seen kneeling in the image. The relationship between Jackson and the child's mother is unknown. Jackson, a parole authority holder from the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction, was taken into custody and remains incarcerated in the Clark County Jail. He is awaiting for the county prosecutor to provide a determination of the scope and breadth of the felony charges that would be supported by the Office for presentation in court, according to the Sheriff's Office. The child, who has not been identified by authorities, was taken into a hospital for examination, where he was found to have no injuries related to the incident. The sheriff's office said the mother, who also has not been identified, told deputies that she was unaware of the photo having been taken or its contents until she had been informed by other parties, while the sheriff's office was en route to her home to begin the investigation into this incident, and the investigation is still ongoing. So there you have it right here. Now, I will say this guy right here, one, knowing that he already is out for other things stemming from something that's not related to this, him doing something like this and putting it online was very silly and very stupid of him to do, considering the climate that we are in right now. And then he put BLM right behind it. So you already know that the people that don't like BLM for other reasons outside of the reasons we don't like them are going to be coming for their well, I don't want to say that. They're going to be coming for their head more so than anything. And this guy may not even be affiliated with BLM and whatsoever, but he just felt like posting a picture that day. Now, if y'all remember, I did a video about a gym coach or some kind of coach somewhere on the West Coast who did this to one of his students and was saying that, oh, this is no, he had one of his students do it to him and saying, oh, this was a wrestling maneuver. I don't see how George Floyd could have possibly died from this because I feel just fine and everything like that. And they were basically mocking his death. They didn't bring any charges up on him. And let's not forget all the people that mocked Trayvon Martin when he was killed by George Zimmerman, murdered by George Zimmerman a few years ago, and called it Trayvoning, and then mocked him even during Halloween by wearing the hoodie, putting holes in it, blood splatters, and holding an Arizona iced tea and Skittles in each hand. Nobody condemned them. Now, I'm not saying that to make excuses or anything like that, but I'm like, if you're going to have outrage, spread it evenly. Have the outrage be distributed evenly, is all I'm saying. The silly part about this is the fact that he did this to a child. And that you can tell the child was clearly uncomfortable because the child was crying and screaming. And that other person, like I said, I can tell by their arm in the picture that person is definitely of a darker hue. As you can tell, look at him and look at that arm, you can definitely tell. But like I said, at the same time, he is a fool. He's an idiot for doing exactly what he did. I'm not making excuses for him whatsoever. But I would, like I said before, if you're going to have outrage about this, when someone else does it who doesn't say look like this guy right here, because he's more like on the ethnically ambiguous side where he's not this, he's not that, he's like a combination of things, then they better do it to everybody else who looks more like that child who's more grown.